Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. This channel, Aware Science, is all about trying to learn various concepts of data science by practicing a lot of questions. In this video, we are going to solve this question on Leetcode regarding year-on-year growth rate. The difficulty level of this question is hard, and I'm going to share the SQL schema as well as the Pandas schema in the description box below. Okay, the question reads, we are given a table called user transactions with 4 different columns: transaction ID, product ID, spend, and transaction date. The transaction ID column uniquely identifies each row in this table. Each row of this table contains the transaction ID, product ID, spend amount, and the transaction date. We are asked to write a solution to calculate the year-on-year growth rate for the total spend for each product. The result table should include the following columns: year, that is year of the transaction; product ID, ID of the product; current year spend, the total spend for the current year; previous year spend, the total spend for the previous year; and then year-on-year rate, year-on-year growth rate percentage rounded to two decimal places. Results should be ordered by product ID and year in ascending order. Okay, let's go through this example. So here in this particular example, we have only one product, product ID 123424, and you have 2019, 20, 21, and 22. So these are the spends. So 1500, 1000, 1246, and 2145. So for example, 2019. So there is no data before 2019. So current year spend would be 1500. Previous year spend would be null. And if you calculate the year on year growth, it is going to be null. For 2020, current is 1000. Previous was 1500, and if you do the math, it is going to be coming around about 33% and so on. So that is what you have in our output. So to solve this question, the first thing that we should do is we can go ahead, extract the year out of this, group by that as well as the product ID to get for every year and product ID what is the current year spend. So from this table called user transactions, let us group by the year of transaction date column as well as the product ID. And then what we are doing is, let me just drag it to the left, and then we are basically return this both the columns. So select and let's paste it here, and this should be aliased as year in our output. So as year, and then you also need the current year spend. So since you grouped by the year, right? So if you sum the total spend, it is going to give you the current year spend. So let us do a sum of spend column, and let's alias this as current year spend. Okay, let me go ahead and run this. Let's see what do we get in our output. So now if you look at it, we have the year, the product ID, and the current year spend. What we can do is now we need to find out the previous year spend of each of the products. So let's save this entire thing in a common table expression. So with city as this entire thing goes into parentheses, and then what we are doing is from this common table expression, let us keep all the three columns and get the previous year spent. So you can use the lag window function. So lag from the current year spend column, and we just want the previous year. So one, since this is a window function over, and then you want it for every product ID, right? So partition by the product ID, and your year should be ordered in ascending order. Then only you can say that, okay, before 2020, 2019 comes, and what is the spend in that particular year. So order by the year in ascending order, and let's alias this as, this will come out to be, since you are using a lag window function, so this would be previous year spend. So as previous year spend, let me go ahead and run this. Let's see what do we get in our output right now. So now you have the current year spend and the previous year spend, right? So for 2020, the current year is 1000 and previous year is 2019, spend is 1500, and you have that. Okay, once you have this, then the final column that is remaining for us to calculate is the year or year rate. And the way we are going to calculate it is current year spend minus previous year spend. That whole difference is going to be divided by previous year spend multiplied by 100 and rounded to two decimal places. So what we are doing is, let's save this in another common table expression. So CTE2 as, this entire thing again goes into parentheses, and then from this common table expression 2, let us return us all the 4 columns that we already have, and then do current year spend minus the previous year spend, and this should be divided by the previous year spend, and then we need the percentage, right? If you look at our output, we need the year on year rate percentage, so this should be multiplied by 100 and should be rounded to 2 decimal places, and this entire thing should be aliased as year over year rate. And this is not completed. Why? Because we also need to order the result by product ID and year. So order by product ID as well as the year part. Okay, let me go ahead and run this. Let's see what do we get in our output. So yeah, this is accepted. If you look at our output, let me just drag it to the left. So our output is exactly same as expected output. Let me go ahead and submit to say pass all the test cases. So yeah, this is accepted and this is how to do it. So yes, tricky question. What we basically had to do was, firstly, we found out that okay, for every particular year and the product ID, what is the current year spent? Then we use the current year spend column to get a lag of 1 year, that is previous year spend. Once we had the current year spend and the previous year spend of every product for every year, then we simply calculated the year over year growth rate. So yeah, this is how we do it. Let me know if there's a better, more efficient solution to solve this question. Let the solution be in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.